Hey, Shalom Saints, this is your brother Gideon from North Carolina, once again reporting to you. I know it's been a while, but like I said, I'm starting to put them out now. Things are starting to slow down. Still got a lot of stuff going on, but for the most part, I'm able to start putting out videos. And it's been stupid hot. It's been very difficult. We've been having a lot of rain, trying to put out range content, just other things, just a lot going on. So it just hasn't been very conducive. I'll just say that. But anyways, I got an exciting, I'm very extremely excited to put this out to y'all today, because you're going to be walking through it with me today, and it's going to be the SIG MCX Lt with the force reset trigger inside of this bad boy. I have tested it. It is incredible. It sounds like a machine gun or a minigun, depending on what type of ammo I'm putting through it. So let me just give you the idea of what I got going on here. So this is the 300 Blackout version of the MCX Lt. Well, we know there was a big hype about this a couple of years back when the Special Operations SOCOM D-boys, CAD guys were using this. A lot of Special Operations units decided to switch over. Germany, a lot of them 300 Blackout. Reason is because this is what you got going on here. Look at that big chugga-rugga right there. This is a 208 grain bullet right here. So they can really put you down. So one of the biggest problems for years and years, a lot of SWAT SF guys had always been stuck with a 9mm. One of the go-tos has always been the H&K MP5 series type weapons, whether it be the SD, MP, the K version, whatever the standard. It's just kind of, but the 9mm, as though the bullet has gotten better, it still is lackluster in a lot of ways. It's not, for the most part, can penetrate through soft body armor, a lot of blind barriers going through, like if you have to go through a wall, glass, things like that. I'm not saying it can't go through wall. It can go through, 9mm can definitely go through walls. But what I'm saying is, when you're wanting to go through maybe like thicker walls, vehicles, like I said, once again, glass, things like this, blind barriers and multiple layers, you want something that's got a little bit more oomph to it. And then plus, you don't want to keep having to service the target over and over again. Especially if you're going, like say, let's say a SWAT guys, they go into a drug bust and they're going to a methamphetamine lab, like right up the street. And he got killed by SWAT. Never mind. So things like that, where you have these will put you down. This is a 300 Blackout bullet that's basically a 7mm bullet, and it's 208 grain bullet coming at you versus 124 grain or 115 grain bullet. We're talking a little bit more heftier. Now, also velocity. Now, I have some out here that are, what we got here? All right, these right here, these are I'm gonna be firing these today also. These are 220 grain. So they are really slow. They are just basically going through the air at their own pace and really, really slow. And there they go. And these bad mamma jams right here, these are 150. This is 100. I'm going to check on this again. I think this is 124 grain. I think this is either 124 grain or 150. I can't remember. I think this is 124 grain bullets. They're smoking. Yeah, these are 124 because I have 150. These are 124 grain bullets. Out of a 5.56 casing that's been cut neck down. So using pistol powder, by the way. They don't use rifle powder, they use pistol powder. So basically what you're getting in effect. Now, I know some people are trying to chop me up when I say this, but let's just work with me, okay? All those haters out there, those technical guys, all right? Yes, this is a 9-inch barrel, okay? Firing a 124 grain bullet out of this 9-inch barrel, I'm getting velocities. And basically kind of close to AK-47. Very close to. This is very close to AK-47 type of round. So you imagine where you have typically a 14, 16-inch barrel that's getting from an AK-47 7.62 by 39, getting close. I'm getting close to the same velocities and oomph as they would get out of that, but out of a 9-inch barrel. So you can see the benefit. Plus, we also know that even though an AK can be suppressed, it is notoriously difficult because of just the way the system is, and it releases gas. There's always this pop coming from right over the gas system. So, but it can be tamed, but it's rough. So when you take something like this, a 220 grain bullet, slowing it way down to subsonic speeds. Now I'm talking about something that's under 1200. These have been marked at 11 and 950. So see what we're getting. Now the question is, I didn't fire the ones, these that are 208 grain bullets. The 208 grain bullet ones, this is a 208 grain. There's a little difference, even though they still have the same tip. I'll show you the difference. Okay, if you can see the difference in how it's necked. One's a little bit taller than the other. So this one right here, that's a 208 grain, and this is a 124 grain. There is a slight difference. That's supersonic, that's subsonic, with a little bit more off, and then those other ones I had was 220 grains, so they should be really slow. But what I want to see is, will it cycle through this? I know that both subsonic and supersonic do cycle through, but you're going to also see the difference in the cyclic rate. And what I'm talking about is how many rounds per minute comes out of this bad boy. It is a very big difference in cyclic rate between a subsonic rounds and supersonic rounds come out of extreme. Like, the more back pressure this thing gets, the faster it shoots. It's crazy. It has reminders of a mini Uzi, not micro. Micro Uzis is stupid, but like a mini Uzis. There's 3 different types of Uzis out. They got the standard Uzi, which the Israelis had made, basically copied the Italian design, and then you got the mini Uzi, which is the smaller one, which is my fave. I will give up some guns to get that one. So if anybody's got a mini Uzi you want to sell, let me know, because I will sell quite a few guns to get that hold of that, just because. Do I have a reason for it? Nope, just because I like it. Then you got the micro Uzi, which is a smaller version of it, and a lot of people have those. I don't like those micro Uzis, but the micro Uzis, the cyclic rate is like 1100 rounds per minute. It's something crazy, but this was a little bit more controllable. But anyways, so why do I have this? Well, because this is the bet gun. So my whole idea behind this was simply that I wanted something that putting together that if something does go bump in the night, do you grab a pistol? What do you grab? This is an SBR. So I had it SBR, I had it, sent out my paperwork so I can travel to different states with it, so I can go to Tennessee with it, I had to get my hall pass, send that in. So this is an SBR, so it doesn't typically come like this. So I had to, add on some things and send in a $200 tax stamp and all that stuff to get this thing SBR'd, but it's awesome, and I really like it. It does me well. Like I said, I got the mag pull stock on here. It's just awesome, man. Oh, I also like to thank my wife for that right there. I'm gonna have to reverse this video. That says MC Lt. That is actually her signature. No, she did not sign it, but MC Lt is she. Most of my pistols or rifles, I namely have them named like kind of like dudes, and my pistols are female. So this is technically a pistol, even though I SBR it so I can get away with it. It's one of the baddest female rappers to ever exist. I don't care what anybody says. MC Lt was remarkable as a lyricist, and she's one of the legends of hip hop. Anyway, so MC Lt. So anything goes bump in the night, this is what I want. I want something that I can take a 220 grain bullet, because I don't want to shatter my ears, and we're firing inside a home, so it's suppressed. That's why I have a suppressor. What kind of suppressor? I'm using a Griffin suppressor. All right, you've seen this before in some of my other videos. This is a Griffin. Pretty cool, man. It's a Griffin dual lock. It's not a complete flow through, but it's semi. It's got the little ports on it, so it does really good. And I got the regular short little ugly baffle on here. It looks kind of crazy, but it fits in a bag. So like when I want to crunch it down and put it in the bag, I can. Now here's this part right here. This is ridiculous. All right, so hit that little switch there. There we go. That's it. All right, so you see how small and compact that is when you put it inside of a little bag, man. Just in this configuration, very tiny, very small. It's not the most lightweight design because it's a little heavy on the front end, but I prefer this one than the 5.56 because the barrel, it's like a bull barrel. The barrel's a little bit thicker, it's heavier, and it doesn't, like, you see, it doesn't move. That ain't moving, man. The other ones, they have barrel flex. Mine, at least mine, this one does not have barrel flex. So somebody was on it that day. They did a great job. So this is mine, and I like it. I have backup irons, like I always have backup irons on everything. Why? Oh, this, I took out the guts internals in this because I'm gonna be honest, this was useless. At first, I bought onto the idea. I really appreciate Unity, what they do, great, but honestly, it was just, it's if you don't have nothing, yes, because it has a front and rear, but the sight radius is so close, it's just kind of useless to me. So I kind of like, if you think back on how M4, M16 back in the day, when you would put something on top, you could see through that tube, kind of like my Gordy. You could see the rear sight and the front sight aperture, the rear sight and the front sight aperture through the handguard or carrying handle. See, they hated that term in the military. You want to call it the carrying handle, it's all sight. Anyway, the carrying handle, you can carry it literally. But anyways, when I'm looking through, you can see. All right, can you see it? Yeah, we'll get it through here. I can see all the way through it, man. I really like this setup, bro. You know, it's very good. I'm going with my Holosun once again. Holosun, bro. People used to laugh at me at the range. They're not laughing no more because Holosun has come out, bro. They are doing really good. And this is a 503, I think. C something. It's the one with the for the sun or whatever. Yeah, that one. Sometimes I have a speech impediment, I don't guess. Like I said, I'm not here trying to be one of them other guys. I'm not calling him Noor or whatever his name is. I'm me. I'm just keeping it real. You know, I don't sit here and try to script it. We're just talking. All right, so solar powered. So, and then I have the HRF skiff. Why do I have that on there? I'm gonna tell you why. Because I do have thermals. So if I want to set the thermal on here, I can put the thermal on here and see and have a thermal image. Or if I want to, I can put night vision on there. So that's why, because there's not a lot of room back here. And I thought about, like, at one time putting like when I did have it in that configuration once, where I had the 3 power on there, but honestly, it's a 300 Blackout. I'm firing no further. I should not be firing. The range is about 200 yards on this, so we're gonna keep it around about 200 yards. So zeroing it between 50 to 200 yards out. That's all. That's where I live at. Remember, this is primarily something I want for personal protection, traveling. You know, like I said, as long as you do your paperwork and get your permission slips to travel different states, you got to send that ahead. That's the only drawback to SBR. So when you're looking into something, getting in the SBR, when you want to get a pistol, I like the SBR because this is real. This is solid. This is not no bull crap. Even though we got guns out there, I want something that is straight up braced, and I love the height. This is why I really like this, man, because I can really, as soon as I put my head up here, like, I'm literally looking at a dot. Like, it goes right up there, and I got a bull dot 0. It's just really comfortable, man. And Kung Fu grip. At first I was a little reluctant to get one, but you know, it's kind of growing on me, because I like the angle on these specifically when you're doing CQB, because it keeps it stand up, like it keeps my head and everything is very lifted up. There's no sinking in. I'm here. I can see everything. Keep both eyes open, and so dragonfly just landed on top. So here you go, and that's good, man. And then the shofar, which is very reliable, good light. There we go. So enough with the bull chatter. We're gonna get to shooting. So join me and let's see what we got. All right. So what we're going to be doing is testing first to see whether or not this thing will fire without a suppressor. Am I getting enough gas back? I'll be using 220 grain bullets. All right, we have one in the chamber. Let's see if it cycles. It cycles. That's a good thing. And that was 220 grain bullets. Now we're gonna put the suppressor on. All right, see what it looks like with the suppressor. Okay. Oh wow, that's like really quiet. Oh, that's stupid. Now let's see if it cycles on full or full semi. Every round. Whoop. Well, I know without a shadow of a doubt, if it can go full semi on firing 220 grain bullets, we're not gonna have a problem firing these little suckers. Now you heard the cycler rate in that, right? Let's try firing 124 grain bullets, 300 Blackout. A little bit more velocity coming out of that one. Now let's speed it up a little bit, see what we got. Well, that's just crazy. Damn. Okay. I'm gonna try this from a different angle so you can see what's happening on the page. I am stupid close, by the way. I'm like 3 yards away. You see what I mean? That's just so much fun. I'm gonna get another one. We gotta do this again. All right, I'm back. I had to reload, man. That was so much fun. Now I'm gonna see down there. You see, I'm gonna pull me a Hitchcock. You see that bad boy, bad member Jimmy down there, little orange gremlin? He doesn't need to be there. He deserves to die. So basically, what I'm gonna do for him is I'm gonna put him out of his misery. Let's see if I can do it on full selected semi. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna do some push-ups, Andre. I got this. Wow. Okay. I hit it, but you see the cyclet rate is crazy. Oh, got one caught up. That's the one drawback to this configuration, is that the way you got to hold, I got to get you very used to the way you depress the trigger. You can't just hold it back. So sometimes when bumping, basically when you're coming off, you got to try to keep the rhythm of it when you're shooting. It can be a little bit of a painstaking. That's the difference between this and a full auto. This is definitely not full auto, because I didn't fire full auto and they're very different. Wow. did not lock back. That's amazing. So, whoo, look at the smoke coming out of that joker. That smells like freedom there. Let's hope we can maintain it because of the way the things are. All right, we're back. Look at that smoking. Woo-wee. Look at that. Oh my God. That's like back in the day, like, you don't want to inhale that. That's just probably, that can give you lung cancer. What was I thinking? Anyways, it's pretty cool though. Mag there. That's not what's smoking is this. The thing that's supposed to stop you from getting burnt, this thing is cooking. That's real hot. It's not touchable hot. You can kind of move it, but you don't want to put your hand on it. But I'd rather bump against this than bump against bare metal. I'll tell you that. But anyways, you can see it. So, wow, man, that's an amazing thing when you get it together. Remember, this thing does not work by just a simple install of FRT. There's a little bit more. You gotta have to get another mechanical device to make it work. It's a little bit of pain in the rear end, but and the cost. We're not even gonna talk about that because you talk about something overpriced. Wow, that little piece of bar. It's just a little bar, completely overpriced. But you know what? He's the only one selling it, so it is what it is. You know, but be careful. No matter what, be careful. Be sure that you keep all your weapons locked up away from children. These things are dangerous. In the end of the day, as much as fun we can have with them and the things that we can do with them to protect our families, at the end of the day, it's still a weapon. It still needs to be treated with utmost respect, making sure that, like I say, keep the firearm safety, doing what you need to do. But yeah, that's it. So that's my video. And I hope you enjoyed. I did. I hope y'all can, you know, like I said, when I go to the range, I normally don't just try to have fun. I normally have fun while I'm doing what I do, but I don't go to have fun. And this, I could say once again, I've done both, kind of, you know, because I'm actually enjoying. I'm looking at the hits. Like, this is the bad thing about a full auto, or not full. This is definitely not full auto. When you fire at a rapid cyclet rate, you hardly hit anything. Like I might have scored maybe 11 hits on that thing out of like a full mag. So it's not good. Like after the first 2 rounds, it's all over the place. But if you was in a crowd of a bunch of hostile aliens, yeah, and they were really big, like dinosaurs, you would hit them all, no doubt. I would definitely. It was a Tyrannosaurus Rex or something coming at me, and I was to go full selected semi on this, I'll hit him with every round. I don't know if I would kill him, but he wouldn't be happy. He'll have a very elongated itch. So anyways, with that being said, be safe out there. Thank you for joining me. Shalom, shalom.
Always remember the 5 principles of patrolling: planning, reconnaissance, security, control, and common sense.